Mapule Mohulatsi, Black Aesthetics and Deep Water, Fish People, Mermaid Art and Slave Memory in South Africa. The figure of the mermaid, Ananya Kabir has argued, allows us to think about creolization as a material and theoretical balancing act between contrasting nations, empires, and people. In South Africa, the figure has contemporary historical figurations that connect Southern Africa to far richer and deeper ocean histories across the Indian and Atlantic Oceans. In Southern African regions, the figure can be read as having a deep-rooted history in slave memory, and the figure gives us new kinds of access to understanding the undersea as an archive, or even a rubbish dump. Memories of slavery present themselves through the figure of the Vatamaishe, water maiden or water girl, a figure who enables various imaginative as well as perceptive understandings of underwater life. The Vatamaishe is a kind of mermaid, a creature half human and half fish. I argue that the Vatamaishe is a nomadic figure through whom we can attempt a speculative remapping of slave memory in Southern Africa, especially in the Cape region, where slave holding and trade was centered. The Vatamaishe is nomadic in the way she moves across bodies of water, as well as in the ways she is remembered in regions that have been affected by slavery. The figure archives a creolization discourse in South Africa that is ongoing and signals to the entangled nature of the lived experiences of Southern Africa before and after colonial contact. The term Vatamaishe is a term from Afrikaans, a Creole language that grew in the context of 17th century Dutch slavery at the Cape, where slave population were transported from Southeast Asia. These slave communities encountered Dutch and other European dialects alongside a range of indigenous languages, resulting in a creolized patois, subsequently known as Afrikaans. In white-centered representations, Afrikaans was historically framed as a European language that developed from varieties of Dutch, but it has long been accepted by linguists that the development of the language is much more complex. The histories and lineages of the Vatamaishe are difficult to trace, but the figure emerges from this creolizing context, where a range of hydroepistemologies and beliefs about water shaped each other, alongside languages and dialects, which were also coalescing into a new form. As the study of rocks in archaeological investigations indicates, a mermaid-like figure alongside other rain and water creatures characterized the beliefs of South Africa's First Nation communities, known today as the Khoisan. Depictions of fish people in Khoisan rock painting have survived into the 21st century, undergoing over time various and often inexplicable changes in both representation and attempts to fathom their meaning. Khoisan rock paintings can still be found in the rocky or mountainous parts of South Africa, such as the Drakensberg in KwaZulu-Natal, the Eastern Cape, as well as the Southwestern Cape. These Khoisan beliefs interacted with the hydrocosmologies of African societies across the subcontinent, for whom water is both a manifestation of life, as well as an embody for life-generating snake and other mermaids divinities. In her article titled Living Water in Nguni Healing Traditions, South Africa, Penelope Bernard explains the various ways this reciprocal relationship between divinities and the human were made possible. She writes that, in the medium of water, these divinities occupy and move between the subterranean, the terrestrial, and celestial worlds, uniting these together in a vital cosmic flow of life. Bernard explains that this teaching about an initiation into the spirit world was often achieved through dreams, other living creatures, and submersion encounters. Water for Khoisan communities was an important life source in that water provided sustenance for the body and the spirit. For the Khoisan, water was a divine portal into the ancestral world, where they received guidance and protection for life on earth. Their reverence for water was further ingrained by their nomadic lifestyle, which allowed them to mourn the dead without necessarily visiting a gravesite. Also relevant to the generation of the South African versions of the Mermaid legend are the hydrocosmologies brought by enslaved people, who were brought to the Cape from as early as 1653 from Southeast Asian and African territories such as Indonesia, Malaysia, Ceylon, present-day Sri Lanka, Madagascar, and Mozambique. These communities brought Muslim notions of water jinns, Chinese supernatural creatures, with them, and these cross-fertilized with African and Khoisan hydroepistemologies.